You can't be well informed that way on Utah's right now local market. How's it going, guys? I'm Christopher McGee. I'm the owner of Halcyon Real Estate, affiliated with the Keller Williams Market Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today is the 15th of September, and this is the Numbers, the Nuance. This is the playlist you want to watch when you want to know exactly what Utah's housing market looks like. I'm going to give you my opinion of what the market is doing and what it looks like and what that might mean for you based on the data I'm seeing, and then I'm going to go ahead and just give you that data that I have plotted in charts for myself to understand. I'll give you the charts so you can see how data moves across different variables across time. Let's check it out. Short and sweet this week, you guys. Nothing's really unexpected as it's happening this week. Things moving in the market essentially as they have been for the last little bit, which, by the way, might not be the market moves that you heard or think might be happening. I've got the data and I'm looking at it weekly, and if the basis of your understanding of Utah's market is on KSL articles or Wall Street Journal articles, or worse, YouTube influencers who just take one bit of data or two, pull it out of context and tell you a story that the sky is falling or about to fall, you can't be well informed that way on Utah's right now local market. So I'm gonna give you the data right off the MLS as I pulled it off just like an hour ago or less, just like I did last Monday, and then I'll do the same thing again next Monday, and we'll just do this from week to week and we'll know exactly what the market is doing. Let's look at these numbers. Here's where things are in the Utah housing market as of the 15th of September 2025. Our current inventory stands at 13,565, which is down a touch from last week. We see the trend line up, but the last couple of months of data we see leveling out. Prior week's average days on market for homes on the market was 64. That's 64 days. That's up by just one from the previous week, and we see this trending up. Last week's average list price of homes came to $737,545. And that's down a jump from last week. Last week hit an unexpected high, and I said last week that I felt it was high and that I expected it to drop back down. Voila. Now the average sold price last week came to $721,731. And so again, this last week, the difference between average list price and average sold price comes out in the buyer's favor to the tune of $15,814. And I always like to point out that, importantly, median sold price last week was $200,000 lower than average sold price last week, came to $520,000, which also is down from the $530,000 that median sold price last week, the week before was. I think it's always good to know the difference between the average and where most people are having an experience. Last week, the number of homes sold in Utah came to 531. That is up from the previous week. This data set varies widely, as you can see, from week to week, but we see a very consistent trend hovering around 600 homes sold per week throughout the second and third quarters of this year. Number of homes currently under contract in Utah comes to 5,122, and that is up from last week, though we see this trending slowly lower, which we expect for this time of year. Last week, the number of price reductions made on homes on the market came to 1,368. That is down from the previous week, and it's trending up as we see from the beginning of the second quarter, where this chart starts from, but looking to have leveled off and perhaps started to trend back down in just the last couple of months. Last week, the number of listing contracts that were either canceled, expired, or withdrawn came to 429, and that's down from the previous week, still definitely trending up though. And finally, and importantly, and happily, interest rates sit right now at 6.25% for a 30-year fixed rate conventional loan. That's a new low for the year. This continues to trend down. We're nothing but happy about that. And that's it for this week. So as always, if you have any questions about those numbers or how I present them, just hit me in the comments. I'm going to be happy to respond. If you or anybody you know is thinking of a move in the last quarter of this year or coming up soon, I hope you're comfortable reaching out to me if they're moving here in Utah, especially if they're in Salt Lake County, Davis County, or Utah County, or surrounding areas. I'm gonna be happy to help. My MO is taking the anxiety out of the transaction and the move process as much as possible. So I always wanna make sure that you know exactly what you're signing, that you know what's coming next, that you know what to do to win, and have as little stress over the process as possible. And last but not least, if this is the kind of information you wanna stay up on, there's not gonna be a better way than to hit that subscribe button and stay up on it with me from week to week. Thanks for watching this week, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.